Hello and welcome back to my channel. In this lesson, we're looking at coronary heart disease, a non-communicable disease. And when we say non-communicable, it means it's a disease that cannot be spread to anyone else. It's one that developed in your body and it's not transferable to other people if they're close to you, etc. Also, it means that it's not caused by a pathogen such as bacteria, fungus, virus, protists, etc. All right, so for the do now in this activity, it says state the three different types of blood vessel. What are the components of blood and what do these words mean to you? Coronary and disease. You can pause the video now and have a think about them if you want to. Right, so number one says state the three different types of blood vessel. Like we've covered in previous video, it is the artery, capillary, and veins. What are the components of blood? Should have written those in here. Oh, save us time. The components of blood you have is red blood cells, white blood cells, platelets, and plasma. And then, what do these words mean to you? Coronary and disease. So coronary basically describes or denotes the muscles of the heart. And a disease is the any condition that affects how the body behaves. So it makes the person or the body or a section of the body behave differently. So it's a disorder or function in a human, animal, or plant. So whenever you hear disease, it's not just about humans. So it can affect other organisms as well. And then, of course, you get specific symptoms based on these different types of diseases. All right, coronary heart disease. Coronary heart disease is a term that describes what happens when the heart's blood supply is blocked or interrupted by a buildup of fatty substances in the coronary arteries. Where are the coronary arteries, you say? Well, if you've ever done a dissection of a heart, or if you've ever seen the heart, you would see those lines or striations on the outer surface of the heart. Those are the coronary arteries. It's them that supplies the muscle of the heart with its blood supply, rich in oxygen and glucose and other substances. So these lines that you can see on here are the coronary arteries. And of course, it's them that can become blocked due to the buildup of plaque or fatty deposits. So the coronary arteries are found on the outside of the heart muscle and branch off from the aorta to supply the heart muscle with oxygenated blood. Now, over time, the walls of the arteries can become furred up with plaque, otherwise called fatty deposits. This process is known as atherosclerosis, and the fatty deposits are called atheroma. If a coronary artery is blocked, the blood supply to part of the heart muscle is cut off. That part of the heart cannot continue to contract, causing a heart attack. Because if it's not getting the oxygen it needs and the glucose it needs to respire, to give it the energy to contract, it's simply going to stop working. Next is stages of coronary heart disease, so how the disease develops over time. So it's not a sudden thing. So fatty cholesterol plaques develop over time. Then you have a hard outer layer of plaque which can crack. Platelets form blood clots around the cracks. The artery then narrows even more. Then blood flow is blocked. Oxygen can't reach the heart muscle, so the muscle dies. So up here you have a healthy artery. It's open and you have sufficient blood flow, which can supply the muscles. But then down here you have the heart muscle, or rather the blood vessel narrowing. When it narrows, less blood flows through because the fatty deposit takes up a lot of space, which is not good for the person's heart. Now, yes, you can have fatty deposits which affects the blood vessel, which can lead to heart attack. But then you have other things that can go wrong with the heart. So we look at two other conditions that can affect the heart, which affects the patient negatively. So the next one is faulty valves. So in some people, heart valves may become faulty. This prevents the valve from opening fully, or the heart valve might develop a leak. So it may close, but it doesn't close completely. So you'll have blood flowing back in the wrong direction. Faulty heart valves can be replaced using biological or mechanical valves. So valves may not often fully valves may not open fully or may become leaky, reducing the efficiency at which blood flows around the body. So here you have where the blood's supposed to go through, but then it's flowing in the opposite direction, and that shouldn't happen. If that happens, it is faulty. You have backflow. In the heart as well, if you have blood flowing back in the wrong direction, that's not good. It means the patient is getting less blood moving in the right direction. As a result, you're going to have less oxygen-rich blood carrying the nutrients that the body needs to our cells. Blood is supposed to go in one direction. Then the valve is supposed to close so no blood can go in the wrong direction. So it's a one-way situation that needs to happen. In terms of advantages and disadvantages, it says if you have a replacement valve, it restores blood flow in the heart. Advantage again, low risk of complications than heart transplant. So, if possible, replace the heart, the valve, either with biological or mechanical, and it has less complication compared to if you just have a full heart transplant. The disadvantage, though, is that biological valves can wear out. So you would have to have further surgeries in the future to replace it once it goes bad again. And then blood clots can form around mechanical valves. So you'd have to have regular checkups at the doctor to check to make sure that it's okay. Now, if a person has faulty heart valves, there are a few things can go wrong. One is tiredness. You feel tired and lethargic because you're not getting enough oxygen-rich blood to where it needs to go. Weakness, you're not getting enough energy because less respiration is happening, right? Breathlessness and chest pains. So generally, if a person finds that they're having these symptoms, they really need to go to the doctor and get a checkup just to see what is going on. Heart failure and heart transplant. So in the case of heart failure, a donor heart or heart and lungs can be transplanted. Artificial hearts can occasionally be used to keep patients alive whilst waiting for a heart transplant. And generally, patients have to wait for, you can't just put any heart in. It has to, their tissue has to match with the donor, otherwise your body will reject it completely. So whilst waiting for heart transplant, or allow the heart to rest as an aid to recovery. So mechanical heart is an option, but it's not for long term. Donor hearts. Advantages. There may be only maybe the only solution to heart failure. So if you have issues with the heart, you are going to go on the waiting list for a donor heart. Less risky and more natural than an artificial heart, but that is if you can get one. Disadvantage, there is a shortage of donor hearts. So, you know, patients will be waiting for a very long time before they can actually get a heart that matches theirs. And then there's a risk of immune rejection by the patient's immune system. So your immune system will know, even if the tissue matches yours, your immune system will know that it is foreign to your body, and as a result, it will try to attack it. So as a result, patients will be given immunosuppressant medicine, which helps to suppress your immune system to prevent it from rejecting this new organ that you've been given, or life-saving organ you've been given. Now, this one right here is a picture of a mechanical heart that is sometimes implanted to help to keep a patient alive. So artificial heart, these are used if a suitable donor is unavailable, but carry significant risks if the patient contracts an infection, and so on. So here's a question. This could be a 6 marker. Explain how coronary heart disease leads to heart attack. So this is a model answer. Of course, any variation, as long as the facts remain the same. So coronary heart disease happens when the coronary arteries, which supplies oxygen-rich blood to the heart muscle, become narrowed or blocked. This is usually caused by a buildup of fatty substances like cholesterol on the artery walls. These buildups are called plaques. Over time, the plaques can get bigger and reduce blood flow. If a plaque breaks open, it can cause a blood clot to form. This clot can block the artery completely. When the heart muscle does not get enough oxygen, it can't work properly. If the blood supply is cut off for too long, part of the heart muscle can die. This is called a heart attack. So if you were writing an answer for this question, what would you have written? Would it match up with what I've written here? Maybe it's something that you need to practice working on, making sure that you stick to the details, making sure you have the facts right and that it flows as well. Quick quiz. Where do you find the coronary arteries? What causes coronary heart disease? Why is coronary heart disease life-threatening? So, coronary arteries are found on the surrounding of the heart muscles. You can actually see them. Then, a buildup of cholesterol in the coronary arteries cause coronary heart disease, which over time narrows the arteries that supplies blood to the heart muscles. And then, what was the other question? Quick check. Why is coronary heart disease life-threatening? Well, it will cause you because the muscles aren't getting the oxygen they need. And if they're starved of oxygen, the muscles will die. And then the last bit, you have a number of questions here from A to I. You can pause the video, have a go, and see if your answers match up. Would you get blue, yellow, or green? See how you do. Then once you've done them, check the answers. So that's on the last slide here. I hope this lesson was a good revision for you. If you found it useful, can you please like, subscribe, and share as well? Tell your friends about it. Ask them to come over and subscribe to my channel. Every little helps. Thank you very much, and I'll see you again in the next video. Bye-bye.